And you know what I was just thinking of? Remember an individual young man by the name of Rick Clay that they said committed suicide,
Oh,
but
right.
I don't think it was suicide.
No.
He revealed a lot of information on the Cosmic Mind blog, and he talked about basically Project Bluebeam and a false alien invasion, and a lot to do tied in with the Olympics in 2012. I believe it's being held
Yes.
in London,
Yes.
right?
Yes, and I don't think he would have committed suicide. And people who know him intimately didn't think that he would commit suicide. He was more of an upbeat kind of person.
Right.
He was really hot on this trail here. So just like all the other scientists and whistleblowers that were getting this message out, they disappeared, had tragic accidents, lives were threatened. If not, they disappeared. They were killed. This is, this is serious business. This is taking over the world. It's not just a little business or, a little area, somebody's house or a little area of the planet. This is the whole entire planet. And I think from here they really believe they're taking over the universe. I don't know how far they're going to get in that respect, or even the galaxy, but taking over our planet is a pretty a big deal. And we don't want this new world order. I wouldn't want it even if they had the best of intentions, because of the corruption that's involved in all this. We're not there yet. We're not those spiritual beings that are highly evolved, that know to not tamper with our free will and let us evolve ourselves. These are people that they understand about scarcity consciousness. They want to keep us down in this third dimensional frequency, so that they can keep charging us for all the natural resources that they're stripping away on our planet. And I hear that they're taking a lot of these natural resources and bringing it to other worlds. So
Yes.
It goes a step further when you start doing investigations like this. But you don't even have to get that crazy just to realize that this in itself, in our world, whether they be ETs, otherworldly beings, drones or whatever, this is not a good thing. And the only defense that we really have, you really can't fight this, is to take on your own personal power and grow that being that you are becoming. And now is the time, and it's urgent that we start doing it now. And I was just watching about Miriam Delgado. She's going to be meeting with the peoples, like the Hopi Indians and the Indians of the earth, because they're telling her the time is now, that we must come together for this great gathering. And I think within the next couple of weeks, they're going to be doing a lot of sacred ceremonies from the earth. So there are many peoples, more of the natural peoples of the earth, that are more connected to the earth, that are sensing these things on a more of a natural level, and they're looking to raise the vibration, because if we raise our vibration, our energy, we can become the consciousness to, and not move into the other density that we need to, which she's talking about, the fifth dimension, or protect ourselves from all this that's going on, not be fooled by it. Because if we're fooled by it, we're playing right into their hands, and we're the tool that they're using against everything. But if we're not fooled by it, the danger is still the same, because they're playing this game with us. But if we're not fooled by it, we have a power, and it stops here. They can't move through you to get to someone else. They might try to eliminate you, but they can't use you for their purposes.
And I wonder if Miriam Delgado's gathering with the indigenous people, is it to do with the Rainbow Gathering that's being held in New Zealand?
Yes.
From December to January,
It's supposed to be coming up in the next couple of weeks, so I just briefly went through this because I thought, because she was Project Blue Star and this was Project Blue Beam, so I wondered if any of this had anything connection with it. But they're saying now, the time is now, and I'm getting that a lot. I've been getting that for the past couple of months in my own meditations and my own dreams, that now is the time, the time is now. So this is the work. The work is, it's overwhelming, the work out there. We don't know, we don't, Star Wars, the generals, the people, all the corruption. We don't even have access to get near the White House unless we were the people that snuck in that time. But what we do have is access to our own personal power, that consciousness that is all connected to everything else. And I think that is the only power that we have. That's the only resource that we have. And I really can't encourage people enough to keep however they do to find the center that's inside of themselves, whether it be meditation, praying, going for walks, whatever it is that brings peace as opposed to more chaos, brings the quiet to their mind, whatever it is. Try to work that and give that more and more, feed that more and more, because it'll be connecting to other light beings that we'll be working with, and we'll have a certain charge that will help us be able to identify what is the truth and what is the false, because we're in for a really big light show. It's like going to Phantasmic at Disney World. You know, you're thinking the sorceress in the sky and there's Luke Skywalker or whatever. You know, they can do these holograms now where they actually look so big and real that it takes your breath away. You know, and if you're not so aware and you don't have the knowledge of this, you'll fall into it. And especially if it's frightening, you know, and if you're afraid and the fear rises, it's all over. It's all over. They've got you.
And 9/11 is a great example. They've already done it. I believe that it was hologram technology, and what a lot of the insider whistleblowers are saying, because they didn't find none of the parts from the plane wreckage, from any of the crashes. They had a propaganda passport from what's his name, one of the terrorists.
One of the terrorists that's still alive someplace else.
It's a total setup. You would have seen the plane crash and blow up and explode prior to entering the building. It just went through the building, and then you just seen the smoke and, you know, all the tricks, you know, the magicians waving their wands, you know, fooling the public.
I was just flipping the news this morning, and they were talking about the war in Afghanistan, and they're deploying the troops from Camp Lugin and Camp Campbell or whatever. And they're kind of still looking for Osama bin Laden. I mean, we don't even know if he's alive.
He is CIA. He works with Bush. You know, they're buddies.
So this Osama bin Laden thing and this whole thing with the terrorists, we are part of that. You know, our government's all in part of that. And this is all the plan with the Illuminati to actually take over the world. It sounds unbelievable to some people who don't know a thing about this. But all we can say is open up your mind and start doing your own research, because to just put your head in the sand and say that you know it doesn't exist, you don't believe it, it's a bunch of baloney, you're the ones that are going to be in the most danger, because you won't know what to do and how to prepare for this. And we need as many sane, centered, calm people that we can possibly gather from around the world to hold it together for those of the many who can't, you know, and there's going to be many who can't. So it's going to be something that's unfolding, and probably by the year 2012, I guess that's what all this Be the Visitor and movies and all Hollywood's
preparing us for, right?
They're preparing us for all this, so we feel that sense of it's part of our world now, so we can relate to them, and they'll feel more like you know, human beings, so that, you know, we feel a sense of we can confide in them, we can give them our trust, we need them to help us, kind of thing. And we don't need anybody to help us. What we need to do is break out of this system, because this is the end of times for this system. It's going to happen. You know, we're all going to evolve and we're going to break out of it. But we can do it in a beautiful way, or we can do it in this ugly, holocaustic kind of way. And I rather do it in a much more beautiful, peaceful way, and evolve into that light being that, you know, I really am inside, than to have to go, you know, walk over all dead bodies that will be, you know, engulfed in the weather wars, the changes, the earthquakes, amazing.
It's like they have the power to orchestrate, as we said, everything that happens in Revelations. They could already cause great catastrophe on the earth, manipulate our minds and manipulate our souls, our frequency, our vibration, total control of our consciousness.
I was just wondering why they